Hi everyone, welcome to March. Where is the time going? And it's only a week or so until I go to the on stage in Brisbane this year, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I just thought I would share this card with you this week. It's called a curtain card, and I love the way it goes. How I've done this, except that I didn't measure this up properly, so it didn't go in the middle. Takes me to do something like that, I know. Anyway, this is the card we're going to do. This was all done with retired products, and we will be using mainly retired products for today's project too, because we'll be using the little bunny, because I'm going to do an Easter card from the Easter Bunny set from a few years back now. I don't know if I put the date on the inside of this one. No, I didn't. Okay, so we're going to do this Easter Bunny, so we're going to do him, which I've actually already done because he comes, this pack came with a punch, and so I've punched him out. We're going to use the Easter eggs for the inside, and we're going to use Happy Easter for the outside, and enjoy all the little moments on the inside. So let's pop all of them out of the way, and I'm going to use Memento and Melon Mambo. I'm also going to use these tiny little pink flowers, which are the adhesive back hearts of flowers. There we go, and they are retired as well, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to show you what you need. There's my little bunny, he's already done. For the main card, this is all you're going to need. So you'll need a main card which measures 4 1/4 by 11 3/4, and then you'll need 2 layers, one for the inside and one for the outside, and these both measure 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. For my insert, I have my white one which measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my outside one, my front one, my panel measures blah 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 3 5/8 by 2 1/2, and the white one measures 3 3/8 by 2 1/4. So that's going to go just there like that. And I have my piece that goes across from my curtain. Now I've made this a tiny little bit longer because it's easier to chop it off than it is to add it on if you've got it not quite cut in right. So this is a 1/2 inch by 4 inches, but you only need 3 7/8, but we're going to do that together. And then we got our piece of designer series paper. Now you need something that has got a landscape picture or no picture design on it, so no direction or landscape, and this measures 11 inches by 3 inches. So let's pop all of these pieces out of the way, and we will bring in our scoreboard. Okay, so we're going to score our main card on the long side with the small ball at 5 7/8 of an inch. Once we've done that, we'll pop that on one side. Now when you've got a designer series paper, you need to have something that is fairly plain on the other side so you can see your score lines, and we want it up the correct way as if you're looking at it when you're doing this. So you want it in the landscape with the picture facing you if you've got a directional design. And we're going to score this at 1, and we're going to use the large ball this time because we're using designer series paper, so we don't want to go through it, so we use the large ball, and we're going to score this at 1 1/2 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches. There's a lot of scoring to do. 3 1/2 inches, 4 1/2 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, 6 1/2 inches, 7 1/2 inches, 8 inches, oops, 9 inches, and 9 1/2 inches. Okay, so we'll go through it again. 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, 4.5, 5, 6, 6.5, 7.5, 8, 9 and 9.5. Now it's easier to see them on the back, which is really, really good. So let me pop my tool away, and we're just going to bring in our ruler this time and our pencil. So we're going to make sure that we've got our design the correct way up. So if we've got it this way, which is the correct way, we're going to turn it directly over, and we're going to look at this, and we can see that we have a 1.5 gap on each side, and then we have 2 small ones, larger ones, 2 small ones, 2 larger ones, 2 small ones, and 1 large one here. This one large one here, this is the middle. This is the middle. I'm just going to put an M there because we won't see that, so we can see. And we're actually going to then, on these score lines here, either side of this middle one, we're going to mark this at 1.5 inches up. So we're going to mark this 1.5 inches on that score line and that score line, like so. I'm going to draw a line across there because it just makes it easier for cutting. And we're going to then bring in our scissors, and we're going to cut on this score line down here, this 5-inch and the 6-inch score line. So we're going to cut up to that 1.5 inch mark that we made on both sides, like so. And then we're going to fold this one back, and we will know whether or not we've got it all the way, because it should be flat with the top one. And we're just going to score that across with our finger, or you can do it with your bone folder if you wish, like so. And we're going to chop that piece off along that line. Now this is where it gets can be a little bit difficult if you're not very good at cutting across like so. But that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do that. So we've pulled that little piece out the middle, we don't want that bit anymore. Okay, so now we're going to actually bring in our trimmer, and we're going to put this into our trimmer and trim this. So from the corner here, this corner, where's my, I haven't got something to show you with. Okay, here we go. From this corner here, we are going to cut down to this bottom corner here. So we're going to pop this in here, and put our blade up the top. Oops, got our blade up the top. And we're going to pop that in so that that corner is right in there. And we're going to twist this one around so that that corner is right there too, so that we can cut that piece off on an angle. You'll know when you get there, you can feel the difference in the cut, like so. So that piece we don't want either. Now we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to cut again from this top corner down to this bottom corner. So the top corner in that piece where we've been before, where we cut that piece off, and down to that bottom one. So we'll bring our blade down, fold this down, and cut that off like so. So we have a piece of card that looks like this. So pop that out of the way. So a piece of card looks a bit like a bow tie, I guess you would say, a bow tie. So you can, if you wish, you can take this marks off the back, but you're not going to see them, but we've taken them off the back anyway. Now you're going to need a little bit of double-sided tape or tape runner for the next section. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, where that middle section is here, we're going to fold and burnish our score line at that line, making sure that it is nice and flush across the top. And we're going to do exactly the same the opposite way. Oops. Making sure once again that it's nice and flush across the top. Once we've done that, we can see then where the middle of our card is, and our next score line is one that will fold back the opposite way. And once again, we're going to fold that back that way, and we're going to make sure that it is flush with the top, and it will fold under like so. And we're going to do the same the other side. So we're going to come to the next score line over, making sure that it's nice and even at the top, and fold that back. So we're going to have two pieces, let's turn that around the right way, that are going to fold under like so. So when that folds under like that, you've got this little piece of the underside showing. So we're going to fold that down nice and neatly, and then we're going to do the same again. At the next score line, we're going to fold that back the opposite way. So we're going to fold that back as a mountain fold, and then we will fold the next one forward, the next one along from it, forward, bring that down, and then we can fold that one over like so too. And we're going to work along each side as we go. It's just easier to work along each side as we go. So forward, and then back. Oops. I should have said back and then forward. I did that the wrong way around, didn't I? I guess there is no wrong or right way. I mean, if you wanted it to be all without any colours showing at the bottom, that's fine. Once we've done that, we're going to keep going with the next one. So the next one is another one that goes back. And then the last one comes forward. So that it tucks under. That gives you that edge there. So we're going to do exactly the same with this one. So back, forward, and you can see where they are. Like so. So now you have your piece of card like this. So we're going to just get some glue, and we're going to hope that it's going to be working, because I haven't used it for over a week. I've been really busy. And we're just going to pop a tiny little bit of glue. Come on, come out. And he doesn't want to come out. That will be right, wouldn't it? There we go. Onto the small one, and then hold it down so that it is at the top only. Next one around, same, and then the middle one. So once we've done that, we're going to hold that down for a few seconds, and then we'll do the other side the same. So the small tab, the little area, and we're just putting a tiny bit of glue there just to hold it in place. It just gives it that better look. The next one, and then we're going to do the last one the same. Okay. Once we're happy with that, what we're going to do next is we're going to actually find the middle of this. So we know this middle one is 1 inch, so we want to bring in our ruler again, and on that 1 inch one in the middle, we're just going to put a little mark with our pencil, and we're not going to even see it, so we won't even rub it out. A little mark with our pencil so we know where the middle of the card is. This looks like it's going to fold up like this, so once we know where the middle of the card is, and we can make sure that this is all going to sit down nice and neat. So we could have it that way if you wanted it, but I actually think that way looks the nicest. But that's just personal. So we're going to then pop a little bit of the tape, this double-sided tape or tape runner. I don't mind which you use. It's whatever's easier. It's easier to do it with this than it is to do it with wet glue, like so. And we're also going to put a little piece down each side here. But we're not going to go all the way to the bottom. And it doesn't, if you do, it doesn't matter, but if you don't worry about it. Like so. So we're going to pop them on there like that. And we know that this now measures more than 4 1/8. So we know that this measures 4 1/8 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. So at the 3/8 mark, we're going to bring in our oops, get that out of the way. At the 3/8 mark, we're just going to pop another score line down there. I'm going to turn it around and we're going to do exactly the same again. So at the 3/8 mark, like that. That will help us with popping it around our card. So we're going to bring in our card front and we're going to pop this on here. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to measure down from the top 2 3/4 inches. So from the top we're going to measure down 2 3/4 inches. I'll just do it on here, it's just easier. 2 3/4 inches to here. And 2 3/4 inches, whoops, to there. So I'm just going to draw a very, very faint line across there, just so that we know where we are going to put this. And we know that our card also is going to be 2 1/16. So that's sort of, I mean, this is, you can eyeball this if you want. I mean, I normally would eyeball it, but just for the sake of the video, I'm actually going to just put a mark there so I can see where the centre is, so that we know that we pop this on right in the centre there, like so. Okay, so we're then going to pop off this top bit and we're going to line that up as easy as, or as quick, not as quick as, and you'll see that you will have this piece here to turn over. Now to me that's got to go over even more than that, so I've actually going to have to bring that over even more. So let's pull that over and bring that right over like so, so that it is flush against that edge. And the same on this one. So if you don't want to put that score line there, that's fine. Just then make sure that you bring that over so it's as close as possible to that edge. Okay, and then we can just trim those tiny bits off the bottom. Now trim on an angle like so, that way they trim up a little bit, that way they don't show at all. So that is the front part of our card, and that's our curtain part. Let's bring in our main card, and we're going to fold and burnish our main card. Again, making sure that you make sure that all the sides and the bottom are even. But sometimes the card is not quite the right length. It could be like the tiniest smidgen out, and it's better to do that and make sure it's correct. Okay, so we're going to glue that one onto the front of the card like so. That is why we actually put our glue onto the back of the curtain on those spots, because it helps to hold that down. Once we're happy with that, we can open that up and push that down onto there. So you could have put this on first, I'm going to put it on after, because I'm just going to go up just so that that line that I drew there, which I can then maybe get my pencil and my rule in there and get rid of that. But if you can't, this can then go on top of there like so. And once again, because it's higher, we are going to be able to get our scissors under it to trim off any excess. And because this is tiny little bit wider than our main card layer, it does make it a little bit better if you've got it that tiny bit wider. You can actually see that and move that away. So but once again, I'm going to then just trim that off along that edge like so. Now you could have done that before you put it on here, or like me, when you forgot, put it on after. Okay, so that's the front of the card done with our curtain on it. So let's bring in the rest of our front of our card. So the rest of our front of our card is the two pieces that measure 3 5/8 by 2 1/2 and 3 3/8 by 2 1/4. So we're going to use the 2 1/4, which is our white piece, and I'm going to stamp in Melon Mambo Happy Easter. And I'm going to pop him on there like so, so I can see where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to pop it, I don't know, I think I'm going to pop it down in this corner, because I can always make him hang over the top. Happy Easter. And that's that bit done. Okay, so he can hang over the top that tiny bit. That's not going to be an issue. I reckon I might put, let me get them out, just these bit of greenery. Let's take them off of there for a second and put a little bit of greenery. If I do this, I'm going to check him out to the front of the card. Oops. I hope you can't hear my stomach growling. So he's going to be too high, so he's going to have to go on an angle like so. So no, I'm not going to put the greenery on there. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pop him on like that. So I will leave him till last, but we will actually glue this on to the front of our card. And we'll glue that onto the front of the card like so. So that we've got a really nice couple of borders there, and it really pops in these colours, doesn't it? It really does. Okay, so that's our front of our card. Let's pop that out of the way. And we've got our two inserts, which is our 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 and our 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. This one I'm actually going to pop the words in the middle in Melon Mambo. So I'm going to put enjoy all the little moments. Okay, and then, oops, wrong one. I'm going to use the Memento to put a row of Easter eggs along the bottom. And I'm going to bring in, got that over there. I'm going to use the Regals, I think. No, No, I think I'm going to use the subtles. So these are the subtles colours. These are Lemon Lolly, Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, get over there, Lost Lagoon, Soft Sea Foam, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, Pool Party. I have got Highland Heather. What's that one? That's Soft Sea Foam. Oh dearie me, what have I got there? That is Pool Party, Balmy Blue and Highland Heather. So we've got Lemon Lolly, Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Lost Lagoon, Soft Sea Foam, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, and I think I've got them the right way round, Pool Party, Balmy Blue and Highland Heather. So we're going to do some colouring with our markers, because I'm only using markers, and I'm going to colour some of these Easter eggs. Let's do some pink ones. So this is definitely Bubble Bath. Ooh, I don't know what that was, but something went pop over there. I don't know if you could hear that or not. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty scary. Okay, so we're probably going to do this one in. Oops, I put that in the wrong space. Never mind. The paper went around a bit further. Or to Fresh Freesia with this one. And Fresh Freesia in this one. And what else can we do? We'll do this colour, which is Petal Pink, with our yellow here. We've done the blue, let's do Pool Party with this one. There we go, so that's my little Easter eggs down there all done. So we're going to glue these two pieces together. And glue that to the inside of my card. Like so. Alright, then we're going to pop the pin in the glue because I'm actually going to put him up on some dimensionals. And I've got some small ones here somewhere, I think, for his ears. Oh, and one just down here on his leg. Okay. And we're going to just pop him on here like so, so that you can see the happy birthday is not hanging off the top of the card. Like that. And we'll use these lovely, and I've bought these and I've never used them. Oh yes, I have used the red ones, but we're using the pink ones today. I'm going to use these flowers. So pop one there, one small one there, and there. So what do you think? What a lovely little card. And it is a pretty little card that stands up nicely. And this actually looks really, really pretty in the curtain shape. So if you've enjoyed today's card and you'd like the written tutorial for this card, head down below here and you'll also find the link to Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group. There you will find the written tutorial. It goes live the same day and the same time as the video here. So if you're watching this at a different date, just check the date, and then once you join, if you're not a member, you'll know what to go into the files and find this card. So we look forward to seeing you there. You do have to ask to answer the question to join. And if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and press that bell button so that you don't miss any of my other projects. And I will see you again next week. Bye for now.